What's the number one complaint about electric vehicles in Australia? Simple. With more chance of winning lottery than squeezing some sort of subsidy out of the federal government is that they're simply too damn expensive, right? Well, perhaps not anymore. You are looking at the cheapest battery electric vehicle in Australia, the ZS EV, with Chinese brand MG seriously undercutting its key rivals like Nissan and Hyundai. So how cheap is it? And is it equally cheerful? Stay with me. Now, when we say cheap, we mean it. With the MG ZS EV officially the country's most accessible electric vehicle and one priced at just $43,990 drive away or $49,990 before on-road costs. Now, for the record, the Hyundai Ioniq Electric is $48,970, the Nissan Leaf is $49,990, and it's also significantly cheaper than its closest competitor size-wise, the Hyundai Kona Electric, which starts at $67,440. Even better, all those prices are before on-road costs. Impressively, it even undercuts the pre-order offer made on the ZS EV, which is $46,990 drive away. Yes, this ZS is cheaper even than MG promised. And how rare is that? So what do you get for the money? Well, the MG ZS EV is based on the regular ZS, but it replaces its engine with a 105 kilowatt and 353 newton meter electric motor that powers only the front wheels, and it gets a 44.5 kilowatt hour battery claimed to provide around 263 kilometers in driving range. You also get fake leather seats, a sunroof and an 8-inch touchscreen that incorporates sat-nav, while active safety features include MG Pilot, which delivers autonomous emergency braking, blind spot warning, rear cross traffic alert and lane keep assist. Now, an EV in this category is really at its very best slinking silently through city streets, and that's certainly true here with this MG ZS EV shining at its very brightest in the city, where all that low-end torque gives you more than enough grunt to pull away from traffic lights. Now, speaking of which, while it takes over 8 seconds to get to 100 kilometers an hour, it takes just over 3 seconds to get to 60, and that translates to plenty of low-end grunt when you first plant your foot, which again is perfect for city speeds. Now, I don't think too many people in this category are buying a small SUV, EV or otherwise, to go and attack a mountain pass. And if I'm being totally honest with you, this one does feel a little weird dynamically when you really push it. Not bad per se, just not overly confidence inspiring, but really, is that what people want in a car like this? Do they want to go and drive, I don't know, the Nürburgring? Or do they just want to silently cruise to the shops? I think it's the latter. Now, at 263 kilometers, the range isn't fabulous, meaning that this car is really focused more at sort of city livers rather than road trippers. But to be fair, unless you're driving 263 kilometers in between overnight stays somewhere, it's probably more than enough to get you where you need to go. When you really break down the day use of a vehicle and how often you're away from a charger, 263 kilometers is probably heaps. It ticks all those other EV boxes as well. DC charging, of course, or the ability just to plug it in at home. And there's tri-stage regen braking too, so you can decide how much regen you want to activate. Short answer, well, it's a really easy step into an EV. It actually doesn't feel all that dissimilar from a conventional MG SUV. The price is certainly going to be tempting for a lot of people. In fact, it makes it the most accessible an EV's ever been in this country. And MG's plan is to simply get people through the door. And then they'll fall in love with the idea of electric motoring and MG will be their car. That's the plan anyway. Whether it works or not remains to be seen. But if you are thinking about taking a tentative step into the EV world, this is really not a bad option. MG makes no secret about its desire to be a major EV force in Australia, declaring electric vehicles as its future. And a vehicle like this certainly sets it on that path. It might not be the fanciest EV out there, sure, but it's familiar, easy to live with, plenty competent, and the price is right too.